first map. 3 big, beefy tanks and the supports to back them up. Boston Uprising, it's looking like it's going to be a similar play here from them as well. So we will have that Rhine-on-Rhine fight to kick things off. The big shields and the big hammers.
Boston Uprising has their roster set where they have a lot of tank players on it available to play so far, so they're going to play to their strengths. And we'll see as these two very similar compositions clash. Let's keep an eye on Aim God as well. The Zenyatta hero able to apply healing and debuffs to opposing heroes. So if you get hit with that Orb of Disharmony, can't remember, Discord is what it is, you will take extra damage. So see if you can actually connect with those.
That's a big part of it, especially when you have these big beefy tanks. You got to figure out a way to whittle them down to start getting them close enough so you can kill them and remove them from the map. Discord gonna play a big deal. Aim God already going for the volleys. I like it. Trying to pick off those squishies in the back line, not quite finding the shot. So Boston Uprising right now on the high ground. Cool Matt is gonna go ahead, fly up there, say hello, introduce himself, back off to the rest of his team, and they're gonna be hanging in here. Houston trying to play the angles right now, but somehow Raucus getting picked off by Note. Definitely not part of the plan here for Houston. That's a key support out of the fight immediately.
It's a big deal. Not only is the healing important, but being able to do damage on your own Zenyatta so that you get to your ultimate ability and you have that in advance of a Graviton or a Shatter, really important.
They've done a good job so far, Houston, of trying to wait it out, but it's not going to happen for him. Raucus is trying to float back into this fight as quickly as possible, but he's going to turn tail and run. Get set up for the second point defense now because Boston, no mistakes on their side. They get that advantage, they kill off Raucus, they stick together, and they slowly whittle down the rest of Houston.
Very one-sided. 6 kills for Boston, 0 for Houston thus far. And when we talk about the 3-3 composition, 3 tanks, 3 supports, a term that's thrown around a lot by the players is snowballing.
Right.
You win that first fight, you're in a good position with your ultimate abilities being online to win the second fight and the third fight. So Houston is now on the back foot, needs to find a way to stabilize.
They're about to crack open a 6-pack over here on Boston's side of things. 6 ultimates online. Now they have a huge advantage going into this next fight. 4 of them for Houston, but Lynx are still a little ways off. Grav is going to get thrown in here, only going to catch Moma. Moma going to get panned, but he's going to survive it. Dante can't say the same for him. He gets blown up. The combo, self-destruct, works out, and now Boston, once again, have that edge, have the advantage in the situation.
Boston has invested a lot of their ultimates, but they do end up winning the fight. I think the big question for Houston is, if we lose one player, do we still go in? Because you still now want to take the advantage as far as your abilities, called the economy of your ultimates up top. So now they're in a better position with more ultimates ready, big game-changing abilities than the Boston Uprising. So Houston, by the numbers, by the paper, should win next fight.
Should win. But this is all about progress right now. Pushing that payload just a little bit closer to the map, to the point there, the yellow triangle you see, or rectangle that you see on the ground. That's
it's a rhombus. It's all right.
It's a shape. It's a shape, and it happens to be on the ground. That's where they need to push that limousine. But the fight's going to kick off now. Dante looking for an angle with his grab. Could try and get them all together. Does not want it to get eaten by the D-Matrix, though. That's going to be what he's trying to focus on here. Just trying to survive. Just going to throw it into the chaos, but Trance is there from Raucus. Will find the combo. Cool Matt blowing up free. And there's the fight paying off for Houston. But look at everything that they had to invest into it, Matt. I mean, that's huge. They only have 1 ult left.
They did use a lot, and Boston's going to come online. The combo pieces in the 3-3 play are so important. You want a Graviton, knock down the shield, and self-destruct. Graviton pulls everyone together, shield goes down, self-destruct, well, it destructs other people as well.
Blows up everything. Rally there from Blase to kick things off. The grab in as well. There's the pin on the shield. Timing is impeccable. No finding 2 kills with the self-destruct, and Boston Uprising swinging right back with the team kill. Everybody on Houston sent back to spawn.
Huge play there. They're going to be able to push this. It seems like Houston might be in position for another fight as they try to get to this checkpoint on progress here, and they will rally out with the Brigida rally.
Looking for it. Oh, wow. Shatter just thrown out there by Fusions. They will get the kill on Muma, so it works out in the end, but it was a little dicey. Houston Outlaws deciding to take that fight, and it does not pan out their way. And now we see the final stretch, the home stretch here for Boston. They have 3 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock to push the payload all the way to the 3rd point at the end of this road.
Fusion's just been charging his ultimate ability so fast, 1 minute and 13 seconds between his Earth Shatter coming online, so I'm absolutely fine with him using it there to guarantee that you're getting 2nd point. When you get that checkpoint, that's where the card stays, your spawn also moves forward, and you get an extension on the clock, so really important to secure that.
So now it's a bit of the duel here. game of who's going to drop the shields, who's going to give an opening. Muma has got his ultimate, his Earth Shatter online. So it's on Fusions right now to be blocking it. Rest of the team trying to stay spread out on Boston's side. They don't really want to gather up, but the sound barrier going to be used here by Boink to initiate. Houston really looking to try and take the fight to him. Bit of a shatter there. Aimgod going to get overwhelmed immediately by Dante, and Muma winning the duel versus Fusions. Houston Outlaws coming out on top of this one.
Two ultimates used to be able to win that fight right out the doorway, but now the Boston Uprising has swung the economy into their advantage. Momentarily, they will have every single ultimate and resource online with which to choose how to engage in the next fight.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Dante getting a little ahead of himself, gets picked off by Aimgod. That's going to reset his energy.
That's really bad. Zarya is so important in these 3-3 compositions to keep your tanks alive with a allied barrier. Here comes the grab. See if they can find pay dirt.
Oh, the timing again. Fusion's split second, but it's still going to result in the kill of Linkser, and Muma is dead as well. So this, I mean, they're making real progress here, Boston. They've got time on the clock as well. We're approaching the 2-minute mark, and this is crunch time now for Houston. Their backs are to the wall.
I really want to see the Zarya battles here, because if Dante can hit a grab, it's really good, but also D.Va's got an ability that can absolutely eat a Graviton and make it not do anything.
Well, rallies used on both sides from the teams. They're going to get that armor rolling. Dante looking for his opportunity to get the grab thrown in, trying to group him up, does not want it. Again, he's got to keep an eye on the D.Va, make sure that his ultimate does not go to waste. So far, Houston doing a good job of pushing Boston back. Sound barriers thrown in, the shatters as well. This is going to turn into all chaos. They're all over the place. Raucus with the trance, trying to keep his teammates alive. And Dante finally finding the opening here for the grab. Can they execute on the combo? Doesn't look like it. Raucus gets the D-Mech on Note, but then the shatter comes through. Note is vulnerable, but he's still going to survive. And Axiom as well, but not for long. Fusions will find the kill on Boink, but we're traded. Axiom is out of it.
Fusions charges across the map. Now the question is, does Boston want to continue pushing or just wait, regroup, and reset? With only a minute left to try to complete the map, it seems like they're going back to spawn and trying to find a new game plan. Both economies pretty much reset here. Not a lot of abilities online for either team.
Everything got thrown into it that time around. We will have the rallies coming online here for Linkser and Blase, so those in just a moment. Linkser's got his online. He could preemptively use that to get Houston beefy.
I think you want to sustain this next fight and hope that Fusions gets his shatter up, try to win it off of that.
So they're going with Boink first. Sound barrier's been used, and now the delay on Linkser. He goes for the rally now to try and maximize that armor. And right now, Houston are a tough bunch to kill. They do not want to fall here. Boston Uprising still pressing forward. Fusions has the Earth Shatter online, decides to throw it out. Looks like he found a couple targets as well. The grab is in the fight, but it's countered out by Kumat. Self-destruct, point blank. Fusions and Highligths are dead. And this should be it. Houston now in an excellent position to hold. It's not looking likely that Boston will pick up a third point on Hollywood.
Getting a lot more value out of their self-destructs than the Boston Uprising. Houston's in a game position. They're going to try to come in and touch it last second. Self-destruct gets nothing.
Oh, buddy, the shatter thrown out, trying to keep him off of it. Fusion's doing the best he can. Heal will get focused immediately. Kelligg's gonna try and touch, not gonna happen. Axiom trying to run up, but it's not gonna be in time. And Boston Uprising falling just short of the third point, but still, solid offense from them.
The limousine not quite escorted to the VIP parking spot, but that is a very good push. We'll see what the other side looks like when we return from our DJ in the mix right there, our friend Lucio. Boston's going to play a similar composition, I think, almost any map. Their roster demands it at this moment in time. Maybe they can add some damage-dealing players later in the season, but right now I think you're going to see a lot of 3-3. Offensively, it seems like they want to push 3-3 as well, at least for this first point. It's very much a standard play on both sides to play 3 tanks and 3 supports.
We saw how effective it was for Boston on the offense. They took that first point quite handily after killing off Raucus, so we'll see if Aimgod is going to stay alive here. He'd obviously be a choice target for Houston Outlaws, getting on top of those squishy supports in the back line, but that's why you got the big beefy guys in front. Fusions facing off against Muma, both shields up right now, and Houston have found their way. Going for the wrap, up onto the balcony. Now they're going to occupy this high ground. Note could potentially go up there to say hello real quick, but for now, nobody wants to overextend. Nobody wants to be the first one to make the mistake. And well, Houston just decided to take the fight to him.
Might as well. It's really good defense by Boston and not give them anything to look at the high ground. They're going to take the other high ground as well. In any Art of War battle, high ground still really, really important, as both teams still not getting any kills just yet. A little battle of attrition thus far.
Great defense there from Kelligg's with the boop. Maybe he was still on cooldown though, because Dante's got to find the kill on him. One of the supports dead. This is exactly what happened to Houston Outlaws on the defense to kick things off. Now it's about Houston just keeping it together. AimGod gonna throw the trance in. Blase as well with the rally, overlapping on the support ultimates. Axiom has got the grabs, and this is gonna be grab on grab action. Self-destruct in the doorway, trying to push it around, and Fusion's is gonna go up. Houston Outlaws doing everything right so far on the offense.
That's really rough for Boston. They decided they could fight 5v6 and try to get into it even though they lost Highligths earlier. The problem is they used ultimates and lost. We talked about the concept of a snowball. Houston's able to win this point. It's not all doom and gloom for the Boston Uprising though, as they were able to force out Houston Outlaws to use some of their ultimates.
It's about the same timeline here as well in the bank. 4:45 on the clock now for Houston Outlaws to push the payload for the second point on this map. Now it's on Boston, looking like they want to challenge early, want to try and take these fights at this choke point here, not really allow Houston to get through too comfortably. And already you see Boston pushing forward, aggressive from their side. Fusion's swinging the hammer. Muma on the point. He's going to be looking to get that shatter in if he can find an opening, but the self-destruct thrown out by Note, hoping that that would open things up with an initiating kill, but it's not going to happen. And now Boston just giving ground a little bit.
The self-destructs from Boston have not gotten them a whole lot of value. Only 4 self-destruct kills compared to the 7 from Cool Matt on the other side of things. So a little bit of an issue with Note, not using it in combination with other ultimate abilities.
Shatter thrown out. Looked like it found one, but the bubbles are there. Rock is still going to find the kill on Blase. We got the grab thrown out as well. No follow-up, and here's Houston's grab getting into the mix. Boston getting pinned to the payload, and Boston getting run over.
About as clean as a fight as you'll ever see right there. Houston able to mop up the Boston Uprising.
Taken for a ride, okay.
A little bit interesting that Fusions is still holding onto this Earth Shatter. Usually when you have Reinhardt's facing off against him, it's Shatter, Counter Shatter, and those things are usually used at the same time. Now that he's got it in his back pocket, perhaps it can be your initiation. A Earth Shatter which knocks down a couple is great for a self-destruct. We'll see if they try to utilize combination plays.
That's what the name of the game is with these strategies. Overlapping the ultimates. There's the angle on Rock as Fusion's not going to be able to get the fire strike though, but Puma and Boink in the meantime getting overwhelmed. Rock is hanging on by a thread, but Axiom pinpoint accuracy finds the shot on him. And that's Boston holding.
In the same note, if you get a really good shatter, sometimes you don't feel like you need to use the self-destruct. Everyone's on the ground. Why don't we save some resources for the next fight? A little shy of 3 minutes on the clock remaining for the Houston Outlaws to push this payload to the checkpoint.
I'm liking that Fusion is really getting up in there. That shatter, it's cutting that team in half. The rest of the team falls as Boston, not able to play their game. Highligths rollerblading. I mean, I hope he's going to clean up after himself. I'm sure his rollerblades got to be leaving marks on those walls.
It's a really interesting rotation. Houston has gone through the right side, and they're now switching sides with the defense. And again, Houston is on the offense trying to push, and they've just got a strange positioning here.
Well, sound barrier thrown out now from Lucio. Boink going to keep his team up. Rallies used as well on both sides. There's the grab thrown out. We're just going to have counter on counter here. Self-destruct is in. Beautiful play from Fusions. Eliminates Muma's shield, and that's going to equal a kill. Houston Outlaws getting sent back to spawn, and Boston Uprising looking a bit more comfortable here, Hex.
Sometimes you can tell a fight is over before it's necessarily over by who dies to certain abilities. When you lose a Lucio and a Zenyatta, both heroes which are main cause is to support and heal the other team, the fight's over. It's just over.
Yeah, it's not going to go your way at that point without the support, without the healing thrown in by AimGod, by Highligths. Raucous and Boink. These are the key, the core that you need to keep an eye on. Well, let's see now. Houston Outlaws facing off. They've got a few more ultimates to work with here from check marks. Boston Uprising, though, going to be looking to make something happen, and they are going to get brought in. The big move from Matt again! Finding kills with the self-destruct. Axiom and Blase out of it. Highligths as well. I mean, right now we're just seeing a superior level out of Cool Matt. The Cool Matt Muma combo is working so well for him.
He is definitely the coolest of Mats on his team, able to get so many self-destructs, but that's a team effort as well, to be able to knock down defensive abilities, calling out when the timing of maybe they don't have an ultimate up to protect themselves, and they've just really found a way to pull it off here. 9 self-destruct kills from Cool Matt.
Solid work from Boston, though. They've been working this clock. Houston Outlaws, 50 seconds on the clock now to get this payload through. So Boston willing to take this fight. They're able to get through the choke point. They're out in the open. Rally's going to be used by Linkser, hoping to get an initiate. They do manage to catch Blase a little out of line, but Highligths going to commit the sound barrier here, keeping Boston up. Houston Outlaws, however, still have their ult. Muma's looking for that shatter.
Whoever hits a shatter probably wins this fight. If it's fusions, he wins the map. A huge shatter. Wow, Muma's in the air.
Yeah, excellent timing, but the Transcendence is there to keep him alive. Raucous, always Johnny on the spot with that one. Kellic, however, will get caught out in the open, and that's not going to help things. Shatter thrown in by Muma. He's got the shield up as well to dodge the self-destruct. And Boston Uprising now on a knife's edge, looking dangerous.
Uh-oh.
Grab is not going to help things. The shield was there to protect the team, however, and Boston still fighting. But Houston, they've got a huge advantage now with the sound barrier thrown in. They're going to survive this, and they will succeed in picking up the second point.
Cool, Matt, able to use his defensive matrix to eat the graviton of the opposing team, and now it's all over for second point. They will get there, extend their time, extend their abilities. 90 seconds added to the clock as Houston tries to finish out this map.
Exactly. No time left on the clock for Boston. But a minute 20 is not a whole lot to work with here for Houston. They need to play clean, perfect Overwatch at this point. Has to go their way right out the gate. Dante's got that energy, so he's just looking to do a little bit of chip damage. Yep, there's the spot. They're going to pick him out and now falls back. Good information gained here for Houston. They know what the setup is going to be. And Boston not wasting any time at all, diving right into this fight. Shatter into the back line, looking to capitalize on it. They did manage to catch Blase out of position. Linkser finding 2 kills for Houston.
Now there's a trade though, his point goes down, but now Houston cleans up the rest as Linkser is going to hold the forward button and keep swinging that flail around to heal the rest of his team. And now they're in a great position here. However, one way or another, Semler, this is the last fight coming in.
Exactly, and Boston, they sack themselves in that fight, but they gain an edge in the ultimates. Kellic's gonna have that sound barrier momentarily, whereas Boink, nowhere near, and Aim God will have Transcendence as well. So, big support ultimates online, but Blase getting caught is not gonna help things. He had Rally as well. He will respawn close by, however, he'll be back into this fight quick enough. And now we have both support ults online here for Boston. So this is what the name is now. They need to be clever about how they use them. They can't afford to drop anybody here, Boston. Self-destruct thrown into it. It's looking like no Aim God under the angle. Trance was there to keep him alive. And so far, Boston looking very tight on this defense.
Now it's time to get kills of your own and push them all the way back to spot. Here comes Aim God yet again, takes down Dante. The Shatter connects though. We'll see if they can clean it up.
Oh, monster Shatter from Muma takes Aim God for a ride that he didn't enjoy. Muma just trying to pound him into pace, and he's gonna do just that. Another kill for him. Axiom fighting back on Boston's side. But Houston, they've got 5 bodies alive right now on this point. Need to keep it clean though. Sound barrier is in. Boink doing a good job of keeping his teammates up. And Boston Uprising right now, it's all just about the contest. Do not let that payload move into the rectangle.
Shatter comes down, doesn't connect with a whole lot, so they have to follow it up with the Graviton. They're all sitting there, just shoot at him. Fusion's able to find one huge defender's advantage on these last points as the respawn point right behind him, and Boston is gonna hold on.
How is it that Fusions lives for that long? They're still so low though on the Boston side, but the Reses are coming back into it. They're respawning and it's looking good now for Boston. Self-destruct, the victory is there, and Boston Uprising will win the second map in this series, tying it up 1-1.
You always feel really good heading into your last fight defense when both your support ultimates are online. Just live longer, you survive longer, you respawn a little bit quicker. 1-1 going into the half. We'll see ya.